everyone, and happy new moon and true to the stars, Sidereal Sagittarius. What? Yes, that's right. I am coming here live to report to you that today's new moon is actually in the beautiful sign of Sagittarius based on true to the stars, Sidereal Astrology, which is accurate to the stars in the sky, accurate to what is happening right now in the sky. And I'm actually kind of excited because Sagittarius is such a fun sign. I mean, how many of you have heard and know about what this sign is all about? It's a fire sign. It's all about freedom. It's all about connecting to the higher vision. You know, the symbol or the symbol for Sagittarius is the centaur, which is like charging off with their bow and arrow, always shooting the star towards the highest, brightest beacon of light. And so to me, Sagittarius represents freedom. It represents getting in touch with the power of the soul and letting that be your highest guide. There's a tendency for Sagittarius to ride off and chasing the next bright thing and the next bright thing, always evolving, always focusing on the brightest and lightest direction in their lives. So if you have Sagittarius, wherever you have Sagittarius in your chart, what planets you have in that sign are going to really be descriptive of how that energy plays out within you and in your life. And so why am I always doing events on the new moon? Well, one of the biggest reasons is as a child growing up, my mom had learned that there is a Hopi prophecy that says that when women come together on the new moon time in prayer, in connection, holding space for that new moon energy, that peace will literally come to our planet, will literally come to our earth. And a lot of people come together on the full moon, celebrate the full moon, but we don't always hear very much at all about the power of the new moon. And so I really feel called on a deep level to start bringing this energy to the world, really bringing this energy to light so that we can tap into it, we can tune into it, we can start creating with it. The second reason I get really excited about new moons and want to bring you this information is because for thousands of years, secret societies, people who study the law of manifestation, who study energy and know how it works, they always take the new moon time and focus their intention, get very clear on what is their intention that they wish to create in their life. Maybe they'll even write it 100 times, right? Many different practices that they have for that, to manifest it, to create it. And why is the new moon so powerful for creating and manifesting our intentions? Well, think about it this way. The moon exerts an incredibly powerful, potent magnetic pull. Yeah. Has anyone ever stood in the ocean? You're standing in the water and the water is pulling at your legs, right? It's pulling and you're feeling this pull. Well, the moon exerts this pull, not only on the human body, but on absolutely anything and everything with water. That can be anything from the water in the earth, the groundwater, to plants, to the human body itself, which is mostly made of water. And so that lunar effect is something that is always affecting our consciousness, our physical body, and our ability to manifest. So think about a full moon. At the time of the full moon, all that energy is enhanced, it's large, it's magnetic. And what does it do to bodies of water? It pulls the water up. In the human body, it causes all of our blood to come up towards the surface of the skin. So that's one reason why people talk about feeling more sensitive or easily agitated or irritated at the full moon, because all the stuff in our body is pulled up towards the surface. We become more sensitive. We become more aware of sensation of the physical body. While at the new moon, that effect is lessened to the least amount because the moon's magnetic pull becomes the weakest at the new moon time. So one way to compare this to a real life situation is to imagine that the full moon time is like going to a huge party, and there's music and there's dancing and there's noise and distraction. And is that the best time to set an intention? Maybe it is, if that's what you're wanting to create in your life, totally. But for a lot of us, to really set a good, clear intention requires coming into the heart, requires getting into your inner world, getting in touch with your inner self. What is real for you, right? What does your heart long for? What is your heart's truth? What are you here for? And so the new moon is like going from the crazy loud party of the full moon in to a quiet sanctuary, a room where there are candles lit, where there is silence, where you can connect the most deeply and the most powerfully to your own self, your own heart. And so the new moon time energetically may be a time where you actually feel more internal. You actually feel quieter. You may not even want to go to events like this, the new moon event, because you're sort of coming inside. So I would invite you to come for one reason, and that is to help create this circle of light and prayer for our earth, for this Hopi prophecy that says that when the women, and I would say the men, come together on the new moon with prayer and intention, hold space for our heart energy, our soul energy, our spiritual energy to be vibrantly planted and connected, then we will create a profound ripple. And so by creating this container for us to come together in today, and if you happen to watch the replay, then you're with us then as well. We're connecting to the energy, frequency, and vibration of the powerful portal of the new moon. And I haven't even gotten to share this yet. And this just is so amazingly beautiful, is that this specific new moon, every year at this time of the year, right around the solstice, the sun lines up with something called the galactic center. Wow. And this galactic center point is such a powerful portal into the soul, into the unmanifest, into the great mystery, to the great womb of creation. It is a highly spiritual time, highly, highly spiritual time. It's an opportunity for us to get in touch with our soul, solstice, our heart, our mind, our bodies, and to come into the greatest alignment we can in this moment. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just know that you have that profound ability to connect to the soul, that your very nature is eternal, and that right now, energetically, as the planets and the stars align, as they say, to the galactic center, you have an incredible opportunity to get super empowered and aligned to the earth, the stars, your soul. Everything is sort of lining up. Wow. And how powerful is that? Yeah. So I wanted to bring this event today to gather us together, whether you're live here now, whether you're going to be watching in the future, to connect to the power of the soul, the power of the galactic center, and really, truly, the galactic center of our own being, which is the heart, which is love and nature, our connection to love and nature. What is nature? Nature is all things that are natural, that are aligned to the frequency, the energy, frequency, and vibration of source that has come into form. And we are thus embodiments of this source energy. And as I sit here in radiant sunlight And I know that I will be connecting to all of you and to your hearts. I feel such great gratitude. Feel so much love. Feel so much joy for the gift that we each have to be here today in this moment, sharing this powerful energy of life, of love, our true soul self. And so I'm grateful, and I want to thank you, each and every single one of you that I'm going to connect with today on whatever level I'm connecting with you. And truly, I perceive that we're all always connecting. And so I send this love from my heart to each and every one of you, and this reminder of how beautiful and connected that you are to Source. That you, as a being, are so divinely connected. And you have everything you need to create, to vision, and manifest your true life's desires. So why don't we take this moment right now, just wherever you are, to just, if you're driving, be careful, keep your eyes on the road. But if you have a moment and you have a space to feel, maybe you have a seat, maybe feel your body, feel your connection to the earth, feel your connection to your own beautiful heart, feel your connection to God, to Source, and just really allow yourself to be wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and allow that radiant love of creation to shower you with all the love and light that is your true nature. Allow any stressful thoughts. I know we're going into the holidays. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, coming together with family. There's so much to do. Yeah. But in this moment, this new moon moment, I invite you to take a pause wherever you are, maybe 5 minutes. Just feel your connection to the earth. Feel your roots. Take a breath in and out. Maybe you want to squeeze those shoulders, any stress or tension you've been holding. Let it go. And maybe you want to just get a little movement in your neck. Shake out your hands. And since we're here, I invite you to rub your hands together. So any stress, any tension, right? Any stress or tension. There's so much right at the holidays. Just let all that stuff come on up into your hands. Imagining that your hands are like this profound magnet, and that all the stress, all the tension, all the stuff in your shoulders, in your neck, in your jaw, in your eyes, in your ears, in your teeth, in your throat, in your lungs, all that stuff be allowed to release and clear. Allowing it to come up and out of the cells of your body, up and out of your organs, releasing any stress or tension out of the legs, the feet, out of the back of the head and the neck, out of the brain. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Good. And I'm just going to say a little prayer for anyone watching this. Creator of all that is, it is commanded that all of these trapped, stuck energies that might be holding you back, holding you down, that they be allowed to release and clear out of your heart space. Release and clear out of your eyes, your ears, your throat, your mouth, your lungs. Deep breath in and out. Creator of all that is, it is commanded that all of the stress and tension that you may be carrying, that you no longer wish to carry, that you would like to let go of and transmute into the light of creation, that all that old energy be allowed to release and clear out of the body. Breath in, and a deep breath out, and just feel the love and support of the universe. And just allow any lingering stress or tension deeper in the body that you've been holding and carrying, trying to get it all done, right? That crazy. We got to do so much right at the holidays feeling. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And let it all go. Take it out. Out. Take a deep breath in. All that stuff, all the intensity of the world, everything on the news, all the people around you, your friends, your family, and there's just so much energy around all of this time. Creator of all that is coming out, all that stuck, trapped, overwhelmed energy in the collective that any of us may be picking up or feeling. Be allowed to release and clear. Take a nice deep breath in. We allow it to release and transmute, releasing and transmuting through all the core genetic soul pulled and resolved on the historical level. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, releasing and clearing out of your body, your heart and mind, and do over the top of your head, all that stuff out of your shoulders. Yeah, let it all go. This is the time for love and true spiritual connection. Yeah, that's really what giving is all about. Giving and sharing. It's not about what you're giving. It's not about the object. It's not about the material. It is about the intention behind your giving. It is about the love that literally from your heart extends out your arms through your hands as you give, an expression of giving your love. And so I just really want to invite you, instead of getting caught up in the stress or the drama of having to give in this material holiday and money and things and all that stuff, as wonderful as it is, as beautiful as it is, to get in touch with the power of giving. Hi, April. Giving to each other, sharing our love and light with the world. It is such a gift just to hear your voice, to smile. A gift is a smile. A gift is as simple as sharing the love in your heart in a smile. And how many smiles do we have to give, right? We have infinite smiles, infinite love to give. So there's really no reason to let this stuff bog us down. I know it can bog us down easily, right? It's just so much stuff. So whatever still needs to let go, just let it all go. All those layers and levels, just letting it out of our consciousness. We don't need to feel that. We don't need to stress anymore. Taking a deep breath in and out, and just tuning back into the love of our hearts, the love of our spirit, the love of our intention, what we're here to create today. What is our intention? This new moon time, moon in Sagittarius, sun in Sagittarius, such an amazing energetic moment. Thank you for doing that clearing with us. April just joined me. I'm super excited she's here. April is one of my amazing True the Stars Sidereal Astrology graduates from my training that I put on, where I taught about 9 or 10 people how to read their True the Stars astrology chart. And I love to mix healing with astrology. So we just did the healing portion of our call. And now we're going to move on to the astrology now that April's up and moving, and I'm sure she's full of questions, and we can go over the chart today and talk about what is going on. And I read this amazing post. You know, Sagittarius is known as the freedom loving, it's joyful. Like I got up and I was like, woohoo, it's Sagittarius. I want to jump, I want to sing, I want to dance. It's like a really joyful energy. It's a fire sign. It's active. It's like, let's get on our horses and go galloping into the sunset. Let's not worry about restriction, no rules, no limitation. It is expansion. It is total spiritual expansion. But then I read this article this woman wrote, and it was like, well, hold on a minute. There's this happening and there's this happening with the planets. And so some of us might be feeling a little internal tension around the urge for freedom and then all of the other stuff. So I thought we could go into that and talk a little bit about what's going on. And so, April, how are you today?
Doing good. I woke up earlier than I normally have been the past couple of days. I forgot about a Zoom call that I had right before this that ran long. I had some great dreams, and I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling healed. I'm seeing results. I had a client book me for a project and pay me for another project that I worked on after our healing session yesterday. Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah. So April and I did, and that was such a, we did I helped facilitate April through a healing session yesterday, and she was so awesome. She responded so well to it. I just knew she was going to have some amazing things happen. So you messaged me later, and what happened after our call yesterday? I was really blown away.
It was just random. I had gotten a Merry Christmas message from a past lover person, and that was, that was nice. That was a nice closure to hurt
Right.
feelings and all
Yeah.
that. And then, yeah, then a client called me up and said, yeah, I'm going to pay you your invoice now, and then I'm going to send you more work. And that was like a $2,000 job. And the next job is going to be another $2,000
Oh my
job.
gosh.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was amazing. Yeah, I'm blown away. And just the healing that we did was like, I'm still like, what? What happened? That makes so much sense. And I see the
Yeah.
patterns in this lifetime, the
Mhm.
same things playing out in past lifetimes. And I'm like, yeah, it blows me away.
It is. It is. And April, when I started doing past life healing and clearing work, it really started to blow me away because you start getting to like, you have perception, right? Your spiritual awareness awakens. You start to see internally, start to see your past lives. I don't know if anyone out there has had that happen. And then you start to tune into them and realize, oh my God, that's the reason why all this stuff has been happening that's never made any sense. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, aha
Hmm.
moment. And then when you can do clearing on it and bring healing into those layers of our consciousness, man, the change it creates, it's so cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool. So thank you for being open and going deep with me yesterday, facilitating that healing with you. You were so open. You were so ready to be, you were just in this state of receptivity and love. And I mean, that's really what brings the healing is
Hmm.
the willingness to feel, the willingness to experience, and the willingness to forgive, right? And that's really what
Yeah.
it boils down to. Yeah, because our hearts, money is actually connected to our hearts. Ooh, this is fun. I think I have a really good idea for all of us today. So, have you ever heard that like giving applause and like really like giving energy to other people is really healing, right? It's like a
Huh.
great thing to do. Well, I realized that the heart relates to money. And I actually had a friend who we did a ton of like clapping for people. We went to this event and we just like were cheering and clapping for people who manifested a ton of money right after we did this. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because the heart chakra is actually what I've read is connected to our money flow.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why when we have issues with love, guess what? We normally have issues with money.
Hmm.
So why don't we do this little clearing technique? I've never done this before, so we'll have to see what happens. But why don't we tune into the money energy? And I know money at Christmas and at the holidays is kind of like this big subject. Everyone's thinking about it, is maybe bringing up stress. And yet we just really want to give. We really want to be able to give. That's really what's going on. And to receive, right? We really want to open up that flow of giving and receiving. So why don't we think about something we're really excited about, right? Since this is the new moon call, time, it's so powerful setting intentions. Why don't we think about receiving a ton of money, right? Everyone out there who's watching that will love this, right? Let's all imagine for a moment that we're going to receive a ton of money. We don't know how, we don't know where, we're not worried about the details. We're just like, what would it feel like to receive a ton of money in our bank account? And just that feeling of like satisfaction. What would that feel like? Okay. And then we're going to celebrate that it's happening. We're going to clap our hands. And we're just going to just, yeah, we're going to just clap the hands. And we're going to imagine that that clapping is clearing any blockages in our heart. So thinking about money, clapping, yeah, thinking about having the money, having more than enough money. Here it comes, woohoo, money in the bank account, clap, 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 just allowing it to clear out And I hope this isn't too loud to clear out, to clear out any blockages in the heart chakra. Yeah, money. Woo, and really feel that love energy, that sense of like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Maybe you're proud of yourself. Maybe you're proud of your family. Maybe you just feel this love in your heart, all this sense of gratitude, and you're just clapping because it feels so good. Clap, clap, clap. Woo, woo, woo. And take a deep breath in and out, and just imagine any blocks to that be allowed to release and clear. And then just rub your hands together, and we're just going to ask Creator of all that is, it is commanded that any blocks to money, to receiving money, any issues or challenges anyone has around the topic of money, any old energy related to money, all that old energy, all the ways we've thought about money that haven't been supportive, everything that brings up or lets down, let's just destroy and uncreate it, shall we? Deep breath in and out. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, COVIDs, and beyonds. Money, money, money. Everything that brings up or lets down, let's just destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, COVIDs, and beyonds. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Let it go. Let it go. And so just any old karmic negative energy around money that any of us might be holding that's blocking our money flow, everything that brings up or lets down, let's just destroy and uncreate it all, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, COVIDs, and beyonds. Woohoo! And just feel all that stuff let go, and ask the Creator of all that is to do, please do pure unconditional love healing around the issue of money, around your heart's connection to money, around old energy related to money, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, COVIDs, and beyonds. Take a deep breath in. Out, shake it all out, and just allow the Creator of all that is to just shower you with light, shower you with love, shower you with new energy, abundance. Creator of all that is, please shower us with pure unconditional love and light. Replace it on all the levels of pure unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, joy, abundance, just having enough, feeling good, your bank account feeling safe and secure and abundant and full of support so that you can give and receive so easily and effortlessly and truly align to the true reality of God, source, spirit, which is infinite abundance, infinite light, infinite love, infinite truth for all beings through all directions of time and space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it's done. Show us. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Woohoo! Well, I hope y'all receive the benefits of that. If anyone has some money miracles manifest beyond what April already has done, please let us know. Or if you would like to book a session to clear your blocks to receiving wealth and abundance, let me know. I love this topic because truly I sense and perceive that we're so abundant and so wealthy, all of us. Like that is our natural birthright from God, from source, from spirit. And you know what? It's time for all these beautiful artists and creators and guides and teachers and leaders and light bringers to have money to start creating the material reality of our dreams, right? Like these retreat centers and these training centers and places where people come together and celebrate the truth, which is love, which is light in each other. Woohoo! All right, I'm excited. How about you? All right.
Yes.
How does that
I'm
feel?
talking about Sagittarius being in my career house. It just makes so much sense with the timing of everything.
Yes, yes. And that's one thing April, I wish I could get to people who are out there who've never studied astrology. They know nothing about it. If I could share this one thing, if I could somehow convey it, it would be this, that the stars, the constellations, and all the planets, from Sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, why does it matter? Why would we care? And this is why. Because each and every one of us has a chart where at the moment of our birth, there was a certain alignment of the signs on the Eastern constellation. And that is the map of our chart, that moment of birth, that map when we were born. And that arrangement of where the sun was and the moon and Venus and Mercury is always the same for you from your birth on. And so when that chart, your natural chart, is affected by what is happening by the planets in the sky right now, for everyone, it's going to be different. So like April said, she has her 10th house, which there's also the houses, which are the stages of your life. The first house through the 12th are the stages. So the first house is identity. The fourth house is home and family. The seventh is relationships. The 10th, the amazing 10th, woohoo, it's up on the top, called the midheaven, career, is all about how you shine in your career. And so for April, when she was born, at the moment of her birth, the constellations, click, click, click in the sky that the planets transit through as they go around the earth, was in Sagittarius. And so April has Sagittarius on her 10th house, her midheaven. Now, not all of us have Sagittarius on our midheaven. In fact, I have Sagittarius in my house of the home, exactly opposite, down in the fourth house, right? So it's affecting me so differently than it's affecting April. And that's why doing a chart reading is so powerful, because it's not just what's in the sky right now. Like, okay, the moon and the sun are in Sagittarius. Great. What does that mean? Why should I care? But it's that we all have a personal chart. And so where is that sun energy, right? Bright light affecting your chart? Where is the moon energy, emotion? Where is the energy of abundance, Venus, affecting your chart? Well, for April, holy cow, there are literally like 4 planets in Sagittarius right now, all affecting her house of career, her house of the midheaven, getting out there and shining her light. And so what happens? She does a healing, she releases blocks to receiving that, and she gets this money coming in, supporting her career, supporting who she is. And it's just like, wow, right? It's mind-boggling. So April, let me get the chart up so we can share with people that amazing information of
Woohoo!
what is happening in the chart. Let me open it up. I can't even believe how many planets are in Sagittarius right now. Honestly, I'm kind of, it's like, wow, that is a lot. So wherever you have Sagittarius in your chart is going to be like super activated right now. So if it's your first house of identity, it's going to be affecting your sense of who you are, your sense of self. If it's the second house of finances, it's going to be affecting your money flow. If it's the third house of communication, it's going to be affecting your siblings. It's going to be affecting all of that stuff. And so knowing that's why April was like, I want to learn how to read an astrology chart, because she finally got it, right? She really understood why learning about a chart could be so powerful. So here is the True to the Stars 13 sign astrology. Yes, it's different from mainstream astrology. Everyone in Western astrology says today's Capricorn, but guess what? If you get out your Star Walk 2 app, if you get out a telescope, if you talk to an astronomer, they are going to say, well, actually, the sun is currently in the constellation of Sagittarius. If you're interested in following what's true to the stars, what's real to the stars, that is what's going on today, my friends. So get out your Star Walk 2 app just to prove me right, or to prove yourself right. Check it out. You'll see the sun in Sagittarius. You'll see the moon in Sagittarius. You'll see Venus, Mercury, and Pluto. What in the world? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets in True to the Stars, Sidereal Astrology, Sagittarius right now today. So that's gonna, okay, what is the sun? Solar light. What is the moon? Emotional energy. What is Venus? Love and romance and finances. It's actually the sign of the billionaire. Okay. So Pluto, the sign of transformation. What's up, April number 2? And Mercury is communication. So I'm curious to know, April, with all of this energy in your 10th house, what are you noticing anything? And what is it that you're noticing? Oh, look at, she's got her full screen set up.
Yeah, I'm
Understand.
noticing that I'm getting a lot of work done. I'm feeling really inspired to create new projects. I have new ideas about things I want to do for my business and services I want to offer. I'm preparing. Oh, I wrote a book. And
What?
to this,
Yay!
yeah, it's gonna get it's on its way to get printed, and I'm gonna bring that to an event in January where I'm speaking and presenting. I made business cards and had those printed. I'm collaborating with a couple of different people, like 3 different people. And I just have all these people coming at me for services that they want me to provide for them. It's like I don't even have to present or solicit, or I don't have to do anything. Business is just coming to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that's what you might expect as an astrologer if there's the Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus and Pluto in someone's 10th house. In this case, in April's 10th house, which is so phenomenal and super exciting. Um, Congratulations. You also have Saturn approaching the Sun, and Saturn is really, people talk a lot of crap about Saturn. They say, we don't he's so stern and so practical and disciplined and all those kind of business oriented type energies. But with someone who's building a business, such as yourself, having Saturn really close to your sun could be giving you that backbone and that inner strength and discipline to really like get the job done, create.
Mhm.
And so it just seems like it's very powerful and potent for you at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
see, Venus is also in Sagittarius at
right.
19, and my Venus is like 12 degrees, I think.
Oh my God. So not only that, but your Venus in your natal chart, the moment you were born. So I just cannot wait for people to get this, which is that your natal chart is going to be totally different than what a daily chart. What we're looking at right now is a snapshot of the planets in the signs that they're in currently, exactly to what's happening in the sky. So it's exact to the sky. Western astrology is exact to where the sky was 2,000 years ago. But because of precession, everything has moved slightly backward 1 degree every 72 years. And so Western astrology is 24 degrees ahead of where the constellations actually are, which is so fascinating. So everyone thinks here's the sun, is all the way up in Capricorn, but it's not. It's all the way back here in Sagittarius. So and I also want to add that Venus is the sign of the billionaire. And so April has Venus up in the 10th house, conjunct what is currently they call it transiting Venus. And all this money, these windfalls are coming to her. And I'm just like, wow, such an amazing corroboration. And in April, you were in my training, True the Stars, How to Read Your Own Sidereal Astrology Chart. So
Yeah.
did you notice this kind of thing happening a lot?
You know, what I noticed from taking the course is whenever I had something kind of come up in my life, feelings or situations, circumstances, events, it really made sense when I looked at the chart and I saw the story as it was playing out in my life. And I'm like, oh, that's why this is happening. That's why I'm feeling this way. That's why it predicted that I would travel on this day. It's so creepily accurate. It's like, it's creepy. It's accurate. It's
It
so
is, isn't it?
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had it happen like 100 times, 100% of the time, where if there's something really going on, right? And how many of us are always dealing with something or other, right?
Mhm.
And I look at the chart and it will just, and having trained in it and knowing how to read it, I look at it and it's just like, oh my God, light bulb moment after light bulb moment. And what is that? How does that feel to get that kind of corroboration from the stars when you're going through something and you look at the chart and you see that it lines up with what you're feeling and experiencing? What does that do for you? I'm curious to know what you feel when you find that corroboration.
I find it comforting and it gives me some relief that, like,
Yeah.
okay, all right, it's there's a reason for this, and there's probably something for me to learn and grow, and that's not going to be forever because
Right.
everything's moving and things are going to affect me in a different way in 11 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. Hallelujah. Right. It's kind of like, okay, the reminder of how transitory
Mhm.
all of these intense aspects are for each of us. It's not like okay, it's going to be for the rest of my life. Okay, no, it's just this next 11-minute period, or maybe the next day. Sometimes it's the next week, sometimes it's 6 months. It's all depending on the aspect, because planets like Pluto or Saturn or Neptune, they move much more slowly. And
Mhm.
planets like Mercury and the sun and the moon move much faster. So depending on the planet, that'll be okay. How long is this certain energetic? You can think about it like the planets are all different colors or vibrations or tones. And when they go into a certain sign, let's say Sun in Sagittarius, it's like putting a filter over that tone. So let's imagine that the planet is a light. And when it goes into the sign of Sagittarius, there's a certain color tone that's going to go over that light, and it's going to shine through and affect each of us depending on our chart and where we have that sign and what planets are there in a certain way, depending on what they are. So it's kind of like a light show in a sense. And it's I've ever seen those games where they like light up this way and then that way. And so I feel like in a way we're kind of like being activated. And if you look up at a planet or a star, don't they kind of glimmer?
Yeah.
Don't they? They kind of shine, they kind of pulse,
Mhm.
right? And so it's just so incredible. If you think about us being interconnected, that of course those bright lights in the sky and us being bright lights down on the earth would have some kind of a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the moon is also aspecting your Venus today, isn't that right? 12
Yes.
degrees? Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. So that's a lot of emotional energy. You might be in your feels a little bit, like there might be, but it is a new moon. I found that new moons tend to be like less intensive than a full moon for affecting our emotional center or feeling state. It's more
Mhm.
quiet. It's not exerting as much of a like intense pull, right? Magnetism as, a sun, a moon, a full moon would be. So, oof, that is powerful. Um, any other things you're noticing or coming up for you today?
I'm feeling lighter with my emotions today. I've had a couple of heavy days. A couple of days ago, I had some really heavy, dark days, but I feel like it's gone through a transition and it's shifted and things have been released. I'm
Yeah,
free.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I include the energy work with my practice, is because what I've noticed is that the planets can trigger old trauma to come up to the surface. And so, what do we do? What do we do when that happens? I mean, most of us have certain things that we do. Maybe we go to the ocean, maybe we go for a run, maybe we connect to a friend. But how many of us have had an experience or a trigger come up that no matter what we do or who we talk to, it's just lingering?
Mhm.
And I would say 9 times out of 10, I worked with you and I worked with someone else yesterday, and both of you had very deep past life stuff coming up. And I'll test, is this a past life trigger? Is this a ancestral trigger? Is this early childhood trigger? And there's a definite deeper feeling with past life triggers, and it tends to be the stuff that we just can't seem to get over. Like
Mhm.
all by ourselves, we tend to need a little facilitation because we don't remember, right? We chose to have amnesia when we were born, so we wouldn't be overwhelmed by all of that stuff coming up. So I feel super honored to help facilitate anyone who's having those things come up, because it's just such a gift to get through it, to get to the other side, to feel better. Um, and I know in my life, it's been one of the key things that's helped me to get through certain things that I just didn't know what was even going on. Do the clearing, and it's like, oh, I'm fine now.
Yeah.
So the new moon, the solstice, the full moon, um, these are turning points in the year, and they're really powerfully activating energetically. And almost 100% of the time, it's going to bring up to the surface old stuff. It's sort of like the universe is ascending, and it's asking us to ascend with it. And so we get pressurized like a diamond or like a lemon that makes lemonade to release those parts of us that are not in keeping with what we're traveling into, right? And so with the new moon or any of these things, we're like transitioning into a new era, a new dimension, a new component of who we are, what we're calling in, and we've got the new year coming up. So I felt like a new moon on December 23rd, right before 2023 comes. I mean, how much more powerful does it get than that, right? So let's see here. There's something interesting going on, and that is that not only do we have this amazing Sagittarius stuff, which is great, but we also have let's see, Juno, Neptune, Jupiter, and Chiron, the wounded healer, all in Pisces. And you know, most people out there don't really know much about astrology, so there's something called a square, and the square is basically so all the planets have a relationship to each other. And all of these planets in Pisces are actually squaring all of these other planets in Sagittarius. So interestingly enough, April, you have Jupiter on your ascendant today because you have Pisces rising, and Jupiter is also the sign of money. It's the sign of the millionaire. And so having Jupiter accessing your ascendant and having Venus accessing your Venus, and you're getting this money flow coming in, it's like it makes total sense that this is happening right now, today, for you. And we wouldn't have known if we hadn't looked at this chart why that could be happening from an astrological perspective. And yet there it is, right there in plain sight. Right. And so the other thing that's really amazing is that Chiron, which is the wounded healer, it's usually the place in us that we have the deepest wounding, was retrograde. And so many of us have heard of Mercury retrograde. We know what that means. But what is Chiron retrograde? What Chiron retrograde can mean is that maybe we have a very deep trauma or wound. And when it's retrograde, it's from the past. It means that old stuff is going to be coming up to the surface. So this could have been a really intense time for you, April, with Chiron, the wounded healer, right near your ascendant.
Yeah.
Okay. It was in my house of relationship, and yeah, it's been like a really intense couple of months. But the good news is that it's going direct today. So it usually takes a while for it to go direct. So we're kind of in this window where it could be a little bit extra intense today because it's its last final shifting directions. So if there's anything coming up, just, hold it with compassion, hold it with tenderness, hold it with love. If you need some energy work or some energy alchemical transformation, reach out to me. I'm happy to facilitate you. But yeah, it can be intense, but luckily it's going to be moving forward soon. Oh, wow. And it's at, oh goodness, 22 minutes and 23 seconds. So go figure. So, it's a powerful, potent day today, having Neptune and Jupiter and Chiron all squaring the sun, moon, Venus, Mercury could create a little bit of a tension between our imagination, our intuition, and then our desire to take action, our desire to go. There could be this sense of like, okay, I feel like taking action. I feel like going for it, but maybe there's a little part of us that is a little daydreamy, a little ungrounded, like just a little like caught up in the fantasy world, the intuitive world. So I would balance that with a walk in nature, get your feet on the ground, go near the water, maybe take a rest. I love to lay down on the ground somewhere in beautiful nature, near a creek or in the ocean, and lay down. And it's almost like an energetic healing to just let go of anything that is stressful, and you just imagine it just releasing out of your body into the earth. If you want to do a whole ceremonial practice, you can lay on your back, lay on your side, lay on your stomach, turn onto your other side, and then lay face up. And that's the 4 directions. And that you can set the intention, I want to release anything from each component. from what is beneath me, from what is to the side of me, what is behind me, the other side, and up. And you're just letting go. You're giving it to Gaia. You're letting the earth take what you no longer need and let it go into the earth. And it's just so powerful. Super, super powerful. So I really recommend that today, with all that kind of tension between our intuition, our imagination, our spiritual self, and then Sagittarius, which is like ready to just travel the world. You know, it's free, it's liberation. It's all about moksha. In Indian philosophy, moksha is liberation. It's freedom. It's like freedom of the soul to taste the next vista, to go to the highest star, to like really embody liberation in our heart and our soul and our mind and all of those energies. So really powerful. I also want to say that there's 2 points called the North Node and the South Node. The South Node is our karmic past, and the North Node is our future. The South Node is where we've been. It's what we're good at. It's our really strong developed muscles in our body. We can just do it all day long. We're super good at it. And the North Node is that super weak muscle in our body, but it's our superpower. And when we develop it, we become superheroes, right? We become like so aligned to our heart, our soul, and our mission. And so for the last year, the South Node has been in Libra, the house of the sign of partnership, the sign of relationship. So anyone out there had relationship challenges this year? Yeah, can I get an amen? Almost everyone I know.
Yes.
Yeah, because the South Node in Libra is going to bring everything up from your past about relationship, how you've done relationship, what relationships have been like, all of that stuff, balance, harmony, justice. Well, good news, April. Guess what happened today?
It went retrograde?
Well, they tend to always be retrograde for whatever reason,
Mhm.
but it went into Virgo. So it went out of Libra finally out of the stress of like relationship. But what is it now? Now it's in Virgo, the sign of health,
Mhm.
the sign of the body, the sign of yoga, the sign of details, analysis, rationality, the sign of meticulousness, editing, analysis. It's the harvest. It's the sign of the harvest. It's the sign of the earth mother, all things earthly, grounded, material. It's the sign of people who are veterinarians, doctors, nurses, all things of health, healing, the body, nourishment, food, health, plants, animals. It's a very earthly sign. And so with the South Node in Virgo, I think what may be coming up for the collective in the next year will relate to how we relate to our bodies. How do we relate to health? How do we relate to healing? And do we have some negative health habits? Do we have some negative exercise routines? Do we have old ways of relating to our physical health and body and habits and our routines? Next year is going to be all about letting go of that stuff, letting it go, and really, truly, with the North Node in Aries, becoming the leader in your life. For, okay, how can my routines, my health habits, my body habits reflect the discipleship to my purpose and my soul? Because it's time to let go all of these ways we've treated our bodies, what we've eaten, how we've slept, the foods and medicines we've taken. And it's time to let go of those negative habits and actually open up to what is the highest and best, not only for us, but collectively for our health, for our sleep schedule, for our bodies, our health, our herbs. We relate to animals and the earth. And it's going to be a much more year for focusing on our own individual health habits. And so if you're in health and healing, this is a really great year for you to get out there and help people with their habits and with their patterns. 2 health habits that I've started this year, which I think could benefit everyone, or actually 3, is to do oil pulling with olive oil. And I talked to an expert. Most people pull with coconut oil.
Yeah.
Most people. But olive oil, he said, is light years ahead of coconut oil. He said it penetrates much more deeply into the body, into the gums, into the teeth, right? And that it actually, the oil of an olive is very, very similar to the human body's fat. And so it just really aligns with our systems really naturally and organically, and that it's light years ahead of coconut oil. And so I've been doing it the last couple of months. It tones your skin, it makes you glow from the inside out. It is just the most beautiful thing I've ever done for my body. And I started to jump on my trampoline every day. And now April's doing it. April, how are you loving your trampoline?
I love my trampoline. On some of the Zoom calls that I don't have to be on camera for, I can just hop on my trampoline. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And so with so many people online on Zoom calls, not getting enough exercise, I mean, when the body needs to move. And so little secret out there to all of you is that next year is going to be about health, hugely about health. If you've not been paying attention to your health, next year will be the year that stuff will manifest. And so I really recommend for all of you out there, get on your health right now. Just get on, like, what's my best schedule? What's my best diet? What's my best routine for 2023? Because it's going to be really a big focus next year, all things health related, which it has been for the last 3 years, right? But I feel like it's going to really become an important subject next year. That said, April, do you have any questions? Do you have any,
Let's see. What are we looking at?
so before we go forward, why don't we set an intention for our health for 2023? I know I would like to, where I'm just going to set the intention, and whoever's watching this, of really dialing in my schedule, really dialing in my routine, inviting in really beautiful health habits that are supportive and nurturing of my body, that are supportive of your body, that are supportive of bodies in general, right? Sleep, diet, health, how we do our lives, right? How do we do our lives? And actually really inviting in health and healing, connecting to the best healers, helping assist healers to get out there and do their work. I feel like all these things are going to be really beautiful focus for 2023, because the South Node stays in that sign for a long time. And it's going to be moving. Oh my God, April, everyone out there. So one really amazing thing about True the Signs Astrology is that it takes into account the actual sizes of the constellations and how long it takes each planet to move through it. And Libra is only like 20 days long. Scorpio, with the addition of the 13th sign, is only about 13 days. And Virgo, holy mackerel, is 46 days long. So the South Node in Virgo is actually going to last for like a couple years here. Wow. And it's going to be moving towards Leo. But it's going to take a long time. So I just want everyone to buckle up, get in on your health, get focused on it. The next couple of years, it's really going to be about health and healing, maybe not just for us, but for the whole planet, for the whole world. And the North Node of Aries, which is all about leadership, sometimes it can bring in a lot of change, unexpected happenings, especially because it's with Uranus, the planet of sudden unexpected things and revolution, is going to be moving backwards into Pisces in 2023. So we're going to move from that more like individualistic warrior mentality of like, it's all about me. I got to focus on my soul mission. I've got to take it out and activate it. Hold on to that, use that in the beginning of 2023, pull yourself towards your destination. And then about midway through 2023, that North Node is going to go back into Pisces. And Pisces is all about spirituality, intuition, the spirit, compassion, service to humanity. And so it's going to become less intense in the Aries way and more intuitive and more sensitive as we go forwards into 2023, which I think for a lot of us will be quite a relief. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been pretty strong, pretty strong. So I'm curious, April, with all of your astrological knowledge that you've gained over the last several months doing the trainings with me. Do you have anything you're seeing that you'd like to point out or talk about, or any questions?
Well, I am seeing that my Chiron is right at 4 degrees Aries in my first house.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like it's pretty close to that north node there. Right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would appear that that north node, because it's moving this way, is going to contact it probably in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
So we could actually even look here and let's see here what I'm going to go ahead and change the date here and go forward in time. And so if we go in and let's check out March 4th of 2023.
Oh, we could look at my birthday maybe.
Yeah. And so for people of you who don't know, there's actually something called a progress chart. And so we not only have our chart from the day we were born, we also have the chart from, for each year of our life is a new chart. Oh my God, April, I don't know. I think I'm psychic.
Ah!
Because what do you know? The very day I chose, the North Node is exactly
Oh my gosh.
4 degrees of Aries.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yeah. And that day looks like it'll be really powerful for you anyways, because you've got Juno, Venus, Chiron, and Jupiter and Vesta all in your first house of identity.
Wow.
So for those of you who don't know, our first house is all about the self. It's who we are. It's our, it's kind of our personality. It's a part of us that when you go to a party, you meet someone, it's like, that's who you're meeting, is that sort of like the mask, right? That persona. So it's not the depth of us like the sun is, right? It's not our hidden self. It's our outer self, and I actually had another friend, we were talking about how much we loved you, April. And they were like, she's got to have Pisces. And I was like, she sure does. And I just thought, wow, it's so amazing how people will see our rising sign or our ascendant oftentimes more clearly than they'll even see our sun sign.
Wow.
And so that's why I will not guess people's sun sign, because I'm like, well, am I seeing their ascendant sign or am I seeing their sun? And I could be so off. Like I have Virgo rising, which is very sensitive, very gentle. And then my sun is in Aries. And so I feel like a lot of times people have no idea how much fire I have, right? Because you just can't see it, right? But it's there. Those of you who know me really know that I've got a lot of fire. So I do my best, right? I thank them for their patience. So yeah, and that's going to be Sun in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius. And so that's going to be such a powerful time for you. March 4th, goodness. And I even wonder if there could be a relationship for you happening or some kind of relationship thing, because the first house is opposite the 7th house, which is partnership. So that's a lot of energy, all of it opposing your house of relationship. Very, very interesting. So let's see. I wanted to show you all one thing, which is you can see here that Saturn, the other big thing that's going to happen in 2023 is that Saturn, the planet of discipline, the planet of form and structure and routine, and I like to think of it as like the law, the rules, karma. It's the big boss, but it's also like not always very loving and not always very caring of our emotions. So I think Saturn could definitely do some work there. Right? Is changing. So all of 2022 basically was Saturn in Capricorn. And that is Capricorn is ruled, the natural ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. And so it's like the two signs that are the most Saturn, right? The planet Saturn and then the sign Capricorn
Mm,
together for a
yeah.
whole year. And, you know, all of you out there, raise your hand if last year was kind of like, you kind of had to get shit together. Like it wasn't just like, you know, you can get by and everything's fine. It was like, nope, the buck stops here. You have to change this, this, and this, or else you're not moving. I
Yeah.
mean, holy cow, it was like a real teacher last year, at least for me.
Mhm.
So the really cool thing is that I'm going to go back to today's chart. We still have Saturn in Capricorn. But next year, oh my God, April, I'm really, really excited about this. Guess what's happening to Saturn?
It moves into Aquarius.
Yes, pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I'd be curious to know, April, what you remember about Aquarius and what Aquarius is all about.
Community and technology and humanity, humanitarian
Yeah,
issues.
yeah, really about the new age. It's like
Mhm.
it's a humanitarian sign. It really cares about people. It's not all in it for themselves, right? So Aquarius is like they're future oriented, they're maybe a little more mental, but they really see the future and they really want to take strides to bring in the best possible world. They really care. And so they might be scientists, they might be inventors, they might be people involved in new technology. Electricity is the ruler of or the energy most associated with Aquarius. Even though it's the water bearer, you'd think it's water, but it's actually more electricity, ether, and air. Although Fucus is the true ether sign, the 13th sign. We'll go more into that in another call, right? We got to have another call about a Fucus. Um, You're like, what's that? The
Yeah.
13th sign. Oh my gosh, y'all, it is so powerful. Can't wait to share more about that. So today, Capricorn, Saturn is still 21 degrees of Capricorn. So we're still kind of in this energy of like, we got to get the job done. You know, we've got to make stuff happen. We've got to be disciplined and focused. But it's going to move into Aquarius. So I thought it would be fun to see what day is Saturn going to go into Aquarius, because that's going to give us a sense, I'd say more freedom. I think it's going to promote us feeling a little bit more free, a little bit more peaceful and calm, or maybe a little more electric. So maybe a little bit less heavy, because Capricorn is sort of a heavy earth sign. So with it moving into Aquarius, it might be a little bit more zany, a little bit more fun. It might be like having success in sort of alternative businesses, alternative ways of viewing the world, as opposed to being, you know, as rigid. Okay, we're almost there in February, but not quite. So let's see. You know what? I bet it's right around the time that your North Node and your Chiron conjunct.
Oh,
So interesting. It's going to be fun to watch your chart next year, April.
yeah.
I feel all this energy for you come in. It's just super cool.
Yeah, I just got to figure out how to use this Prometheus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, um, have you been able to watch the training?
I watched one of the trainings, but he didn't go into how to do all the astrology options at the bottom to customize the view and all of that. And then
Right.
I got busy, so I
I
didn't.
I know it takes some time to get
Yeah.
that held down. So February 26th is going to be Saturn in Aquarius. I mean, you know, astrology is one of those things where it's like you can start to really learn it in a couple months, and then it takes, you know, it's like a lifetime. I mean, it's never ending. There's just it's like the stars in the sky, right? There's just endless options and things you can learn. But
Mm.
it's really simple how quickly you can get to a working knowledge with astrology. and then really start to be able to utilize it and have fun with it and actually create some results for yourself, or if you want to do it for, for clients. Very, very helpful. It's really helpful if someone's dealing with an issue they can't figure out, to look at their chart and, wow, there we go. So right around February 18th is when Saturn is going to move into Aquarius, which is super cool. I'm kind of curious if it's going to move in on Valentine's Day, so I'm going to check that.
On my birthday.
Is that your birthday?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I now know 2 Valentine babies. That is amazing. 3, all you love babies. That's what we're going to call you. Okay. So, yes, Saturn will be in Aquarius on Valentine's Day, but what day does it actually go in? Let's try the 12th. This is a year, my friends, for collaborative businesses. Doing things in groups, not just like doing individual stuff, but like really collaborating, co-creating. This is a year for thinking off the cuff, for new inventions. This is a year for thinking about the future and what we're going to create for the next 7 generations. It is a fun, exciting year. I really feel like there's going to be a lot of advancements in technology. February 10th, Saturn into Aquarius. Yeah. Let's see here. Stop share, and then I'll share again. And thank you, April, so much for coming on and doing this conversation with me today about the new moon and about True to the Stars 13 Sign Astrology. Look at that. Yeah, we've got Saturn 0 degrees of Aquarius on February 10th. Wow. It's lining up with the sun. We're going to have Saturn conjunct the sun around the end of January. So that could be a really powerful time to really get your business like solid, right? The sun is light. Saturn is all about success and discipline and advancement. And you're going to have Venus right near the sun, your sun, which will be really powerful. So you see, if anyone out there wants to have their chart read, what you can do is if you have any dates coming up that are really important, you can pull up a chart for that day and then see how that day's energy affects your personal chart. And it's amazing. It's like having this personal galactic universal update for you about your life and about the energies. If you imagine that the planets are like actors in a play, I like to think of Jupiter as like Santa Claus, and the sun would be like Father God, right? Like the brightest, lightest energy in the sky, or Mother God, whatever. Venus would be Aphrodite, right? The goddess of love. Mars would be the god of war, right? The moon would be the divine mother, the nurturer. Mercury would be the god of communication, right? So those actors are affecting each area of your life every day in unique ways, depending on the time you were born and what signs are in your unique chart layout that happened, at the moment of your birth, what stars, that snapshot were in the sky, what planets were in which constellations at that moment. That's like your star map. It's like what you can compare what's happening to. How is this going to affect me? How's it going to affect my life? What are things to watch out for? And what are things that could be super beneficial and just like, they're kind of like energies that cannot be disputed by anyone. They cannot be changed, right? Like you having the sun and Mercury and Venus all conjoining, aspecting your 10th house of career today, and you receiving all that money and doing that healing work that got you there and like assisted, is like, it just cannot be disputed. You just can't argue with the planetary bodies in the constellations. It just can't be changed, right? It's not in our power to change that, but we can change our relationship to it, right? So if it's a challenging aspect, we can, okay, well, that's going to be happening. I'm just going to read a book. I'm going to chill out. I'm not going to try and deal with that. But if it's a positive aspect, I'm going out. I'm going to shine my light. I'm going to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
right? Like there's just so many ways to allow a chart to be of guidance and support to assist you with your life, your mission, your purpose, your career, money, relationships. I mean, and then there's relationships too.
Right.
And there's that whole topic, right? Which is phenomenal and exciting to see how you and someone else relate. And oh my God, is it accurate to describing some of the challenges that can arise between two people. I
Mhm.
love specializing in those readings. I've really felt like next year I want to just do a ton more couples readings. And I found out two secret things that I haven't really shared with you, April, yet
Oh,
from Vedic astrology, all about how to really figure out your soul mission and your relationship partnership. And so, of course, there is a lot to each one, but I'll just share with you what they are because I mean, I think everyone would want to know what these two signs are in their chart.
heck
So
yeah.
I wonder if I have your chart up here somewhere. So I'll just do it fresh. So we'll just do your chart. So we got April's chart here. And you were born on the 14th of February.
Yes.
We got a love baby on our call today, y'all. And what year, if you don't mind?
1979,
79. Okay, and what time were you born?
9:11 a.m.
Exactly.
Yes.
On the dot. Yeah. In Bountiful, Utah.
Yes.
And you are bountiful. That is such an amazingly accurate description. Bountiful with love, bountiful with generosity,
Aw.
bountiful with your income.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fitting. So what I'm going to share with you today, April, is I'm just so excited. I think I should offer just specific readings just on these three things because it's super helpful.
Yeah.
It's only two planets that we're going to look at, and yet they're like the ruler. They're like the epitome in the chart for representing one, your soul, who you are. It's called your Atma Karaka.
Hmm.
Yourself, Atma means the soul, means the spirit, means like God, right? It's kind of like who you are in this life, like what you're here to do.
Mhm.
And then the Dara is about your relationship. It's about your partner. You know,
Oh.
what is your ideal partner? And it's so different than anything I've ever heard before. So I've started looking into it, and it's amazing what I have ended up seeing and finding, especially, you know, looking at your own Atma Karaka and then looking at your partners and seeing like, do they match up? And I'm almost 100% sure that if your Atma Karaka and Dara Karaka line up in some harmonious way with your partner, it could be a very long lasting partnership. And I
Hmm.
also think that if they do not, then it may not be. So let's look at this. And this is new information for me after having studied astrology for so many years, like 10, 20 years here, to find this information out. And so I'm really grateful to Joni Patri, who's a Vedic astrologer. I really admire her work. Of course, Vedic astrology is a whole nother thing and another lifetime to study and really master. So for now, we'll just do what we can and know what we know and not stress too much about the details. So can you see your chart, April?
Yeah,
Okay. And is it colorful?
it is.
Okay. So what we're looking for is this, and if you're at home, you might want to take notes if you're interested in reading astrology charts, and if you have a chart. Of course, if it's not True the Stars 13 sign astrology, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you get an accurate chart to the sky. But what we're going to look for, oh, amazing, is we're going to look for the attributes of you. Like, what is your soul purpose? And so what we're going to do to find the Atma is that we're going to find your highest number of degree planet. And it's not going to be, you can't use Neptune, you can't use Uranus, you can't use Pluto. Those are the outer rim planets. You're only going to use the sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And so the Atma Karaka is the planet with the highest number of degrees in your chart. And so if you'd like to have your chart done to see this, I might offer a little special for people. So we're going to look for the highest number of degree planet, and that will be your Atma Karaka. So amazing, and this makes so much sense, is your sun is your Atma Karaka, your sun at 25 degrees of Capricorn. That is your true soul self. That's what your purpose is. That's what you're here for. That's, what your world is all about.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's about being a provider. It's about shining your light. It's about going out into the world and having a very successful career and just being blazing, essentially. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think everyone's waiting with held breath about wanting to know how you find out your partner, and who they are and might be in your life. You are going to want to go and find the lowest number of degrees planet in the chart. And that was really, really easy because you have the moon in Virgo.
Oh.
So your partner is going to be the perfect complement to you because they're going to be lunar. They're going to be emotional. They're going to be the feminine to the masculine. They're going to be more nourishing to you. They're going to be the person who cooks you dinner and, rubs your back and keeps a nice home. And you just feel very supported by them and very loved, very cared for, very taken care of. They also might tend to be a bit emotional. But in the sign of Virgo, they're going to be health conscious. They're going to be diet conscious. They're going to be very connected to diet, health, routine, and very nourishing. So anyone you meet who has 0 degrees of Virgo or 0 degrees of Pisces, or they have a very strong placement of the moon in their chart, is going to be someone who really represents that ideal partnership energy for you.
Okay.
Wow, this is way more information than I ever thought I was going to share today. So whoever's still watching this, hallelujah. So nice to have you here today. Careful. Thank you. So super grateful. I'm just going to close this down. I'm curious, April, I'm going to bring up the chart for today real quick. And I'm just curious to know if you have any questions, if there's anything you're noticing. Here. Right chart. Yeah, so it's been a really long event. I did not plan to go this long. Yeah,
It happens.
it does with me, especially. Yeah. My mom's like, so you're gonna be doing that for 3 hours today or what? Probably. I don't even
Moms know.
It's almost like when I get into this zone with y'all, I literally get into a place of no time.
Yes.
Just great, but then you come out and you're like, oh my God, there is still time. Okay. So I'm just curious to know, we've got, today's chart, we've got the sun, the moon, Venus, Mercury, Pluto, all coming together. We've got, I didn't mention Mars is retrograde to everyone. So Mars is retrograde and we're going to be feeling it probably until March. And so if you're feeling a little bit of challenge energetically with your energy, it could be because of Mars retrograde. Mars is the planet of energy. So if you're feeling slow or sluggish or there's challenges with movement forwards, just try and give yourself a break and trust that you're finishing up and resolving past things that you need to take care of before your energy can really charge forward in March. So if you have any huge projects you're trying to launch, for the new year, and you're feeling like, okay, this is overwhelming or daunting, give yourself until March to really freaking launch it because Mars retrograde is a more internal time. It's not a super great time for making huge leaps forwards, right? If you think about Mars, it's leaping forward, it's taking action. And so with Mars retrograde, maybe you need to just pause and allow yourself to finish up any old stuff, finish old projects, take care of business, and really trust that you're going to have huge momentum forward in March for sure, because Mars will go out of retrograde motion.
Mm-hmm.
Mars will stop being retrograde in January, but they say that there's a window of about 2 months until March where the Mars retrograde energy will still be present. So take it easy, you know, make your plans, take action, do your best, but try not to have any expectation on yourself for what's happening until March. For April, she's got so many other positive things aspecting her chart that she's literally just blowing past all that Mars retrograde energy. So, you know, for some of us are going to have that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're just not affected, and that's ideally where we get. But if you know you're feeling bogged down, there's probably some old past energy that needs to be resolved. Message me to do some transformational alchemical shifting to help align you to your future blueprint, your highest blueprint. Happy to help and support you. But I'm just wondering, April, you have any last final thoughts here about the chart? Anything you're seeing? Any questions?
No, I think everything looks like it's right on track to be really amazing for New Year
Yes,
and
yes,
for
yes, yes,
January.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
gonna be blowing
let's
up.
let's just set that little intention. I want to thank everyone for being here. Anyone who got on the call and was involved, maybe you wanted to be quiet and not participate, that's fine. This is a lot of energy. April's super brave, and of course her Atma Karaka is the sun, so she's ready to shine wherever, whenever, which is fantastic. Um, Interestingly enough, April, my Atma is the moon.
Oh,
So, and I think they're both earth signs. So that could explain why we just have amazing, you know, we get along so well. It's so fun to work with each other. It's a very balancing relationship. So
yeah,
that's really neat to know. And that's really cool. Like if you're in a partnership or relationship, to do each other's charts and you can find out, oh, well, that explains our chemistry. That explains why we connect so well. That explains all these things that we wouldn't otherwise know, which is pretty amazing.
yeah.
So with that said, I want everyone to just take a nice deep breath in, a nice deep breath out, and just get in touch with the vision of your heart. We're just going to do really, really quick, just a couple minutes, visualizing what is your deepest heartfelt desire for the new moon and for the next 2 months, the next year. And just take a deep breath in. I'm going to play this. You may hear it, you may not. We're just going to get in touch with our vision, our mission. Taking a nice deep breath in. Just take a deep breath in. Just imagine peace, prosperity, love, and joy, and freedom, and abundance in 2023. Imagine your highest vision from your heart coming into reality, allowing it to be there, allowing you to dance to love and joy in your heart. Take a deep breath in, releasing all blocks to allowing the truth of your heart to shine out into the world. Taking a nice deep breath in. Taking a nice deep breath out. And just bring your hands to your heart and feel that radiant love and light. That is your true nature. That is your true soul self. Sending you love and gratitude and appreciation. Visualizing just ease in 2023. Flow and love and support. Just everything aligning in your highest and best. Truly imagining peace in the world, peace in your life, peace in your heart. And then take a deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Gently bring your hands together. Take a deep breath in and out. For the great, beautiful, vibrant, shining light that shines so bright within you and within all beings on this earth. To that radiant love and light and joy, I bow. May all beings on this earth be happy, be healthy, and be free. May all of life vibrate with the energy of pure joy, unconditional love, and compassion. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sending you love and light. Happy solstice, happy new moon. Take a deep breath in. Push your hands together. Exhale, send your hands up to the sky. Woo! Send your prayer out to this cosmos, showering people in pure, unconditional love and light and joy. How does it get better than this? What else is possible? Woohoo! Happy 2023. Here we come. Yeah. Woo! All right, April, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me for this experimental ceremonial invitation. And how you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling good. Today is going to be a good day.
Today is a great day. Sending you all so much love. Reach out if you have any questions, and super grateful for you, April. Super grateful for this new 2023 and for all of you beautiful people out there. So we send you love. Woohoo!
Grateful
Talk to
for
y'all
you.
soon. Mwah.
Thank you.